Hello everyone, in this video we are going to be discussing about a very important topic, that is the HDL cholesterol mechanism. So I hope you can actually clearly watch. So first, before discussing about it, what is this HDL? So HDL is actually called as good cholesterol. Why? Because other cholesterol like other cholesterols like LDL, VLDL, chylomicrons, these are the other and even IDL. So low density lipoprotein, very low density lipoprotein, chylomicrons, intermediate density lipoprotein. So these lipoproteins, what they usually do is they transport the cholesterol or tag molecules, that is a triglyceride molecule, from the liver to peripheral tissues. But only this HDL, they transfer cholesterol from peripheral tissues to the liver. So this is the reason why they are called as good cholesterol. They are also the reason for the transport of cholesterol from the blood vessel. From the blood vessel, when these cholesterol are deposited, they actually are transferred to the LDL lipoprotein. So before going into the mechanism, I'll be just giving you a very brief thing about what is this LDL. As I told you already, it is the main important function is that it transports cholesterol from the peripheral tissues to the liver. That is a very important function. And one more thing is that so what are the components? So usually the component of the HDL, there are a lot of proteins present. And this is the reason why it is very high in density, and a lot of phospholipid is also present, right? And cholesterol esters are present. So the main three components are apoproteins, cholesterol esters, and the phospholipids. So these are the three main components that you can actually see in this HDL cholesterol. So what are the apoprotein mainly present? So the main apoprotein present are A1, A2, A3, C, E, and D. So these are the, so we usually call it as Apo A1, Apo A2, Apo A3, Apo C, Apo E, Apo D. So these are the main lipoprotein which is actually present in the HDL. Now we're going into the mechanism. So first, this HDL is actually synthesized in the intestinal cells, right? So intestinal cells are actually synthesizing. So this is, let me just assume that this is the nascent HDL, right? So now this nascent HDL contains phospholipids, ApoA1, and all other apoproteins, but mainly we are talking about ApoA1, cholesterol esters, but not too much cholesterol esters. Now later what happens is that from the blood vessels and from the heart, my heart diagram is very bad, I know, but please manage with that. So from the heart and from the blood vessels, the cholesterol is actually transported to the HDL. So cholesterol esters. So from the blood vessels, from the heart, they are actually transported to the HDL molecule as cholesterol esters. So this is actually mainly by the enzyme called LCAT. So what is LCAT enzyme? Lecithin cholesterol acyl transferase. Right? This enzyme is the enzyme which transfers the cholesterol molecules which are actually deposited in the blood vessels or in the heart vessels. Everything is transported to the HDL via this LCAT enzyme. So this LCAT, especially we are talking about the lecithin. So lecithin molecule, it actually contains PUFA, polyunsaturated fatty acid, at its second carbon atom. Now this PUFA molecule, what happens is that it is actually transported to the cholesterol which is taken up from these blood vessels. So this is transported to the cholesterol and which is converted to cholesterol esters. So this is how these cholesterol esters are actually entering the HDL molecules as cholesterol esters. Now this cholesterol esters which have entered the HDL molecule accumulate inside this HDL molecule, and this HDL molecule is now transformed into a very mature molecule, very large. So this kind of HDL molecule is what called as HDL3. So HDL3 is actually a mature cholesterol, HDL. Mature HDL is what called as HDL3. This is actually rich in cholesterol esters. This is a very important thing. Now this cholesterol HDL3, now it is actually having two fates. I may say that it is having two fates. So the one fate is that this may be transported to the liver, and liver may take up this via hepatic scavenger receptors present in the liver, may take up these HDL3 and it may convert them into bile salts, and it is excreted via the intestine, right? So this is the excretion method. This is the only excretion way that cholesterol, how it can be excreted. This is one fate. The next fate I can say is that when it remains in the circulation for longer period, what happens is that it undergoes a process. So now I'm going to be drawing this in a very different page. So let me see this page. So now when HDL3 is actually having another fate, that is lipoprotein cascade. So what is this lipoprotein cascade? So lipoprotein cascade is just nothing but what happens is that this HDL, it actually contains a lot of cholesterol esters, right? So this cholesterol esters is actually transported to the LDL and even to the VLDL and even to the IDL. So to these molecules, this cholesterol esters are actually transported, and in exchange for these cholesterol esters, what happens is that this HDL molecule, right, this is HDL3, this HDL molecule, in transfer of the cholesterol ester, in exchange it also receives triglycerides. So now what happens is that this is actually now rich in triglyceride molecules. So this kind of HDL is called as HDL2. which is actually rich in triglyceride molecule. This pathway is called as lipoprotein cascade pathway, where when it remains in the circulation, this is very important, when it remains in the circulation, the cholesterol esters from the HDL3 is now transported to the LDL, VLDL and IDL, and in exchange of the cholesterol esters, it actually gets the triglyceride molecules. So now this triglyceride molecule rich HDL3 is called as HDL2. Okay, so this is now again the same route, that is, this is now transported to the liver, and the liver takes up this HDL via hepatic triglyceride lipase, because this is actually having a lytic action on a HDL rich in triglyceride, right? So hepatic triglyceride lipase, and again the same thing, it is excreted as bile salts or acids via intestine. So this is the one thing. Now this is what is actually, so HDL pathway is called as reverse cholesterol transport. So this is very important, reverse cholesterol transport, because cholesterol usually is transported from liver to the peripheral tissues, right? But HDL actually transports the cholesterol from the peripheral tissues to the liver, right? So this kind of mechanism is called as reverse cholesterol transport mechanism. So this is the entire topic about the HDL mechanism. So if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe to Rise and Wise channel. Thank you guys.